Isn't it time to stop reliving your past hurts and move on to a bright and hopeful future?
I have a right to be upset, but I don't have a right to be wounded for the rest of my life. So I choose to be healed.
Get rid of the bitter poison that unforgiveness administers to the soul with Bishop David G. Evans. Forgive again, live again.
It's a liberating experience, and being able to forgive someone and forgiving yourself. It's liberating.
Forgiveness will deliver me in 3 dimensions. From what happened, from who it happened with, from when it happened. Because sometimes you'll get free from the what, but the who will still have you back.
This highly sought-after 4-part message of healing can be yours on CD or DVD. Act now, and we'll include Bishop's book, Healed Without Scars, with your order absolutely free. All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today. Adversaries come in many forms, but you will be victorious when you realize that worship is warfare.
Adversaries are necessary because without them, you never really discover your purpose.
We've accepted what somebody told us we were in our past. So our past is sabotaging our ability to hear instruction.
We are not much unlike a battery. The negative is the thing that's needed to produce the power.
I empowered you to overcome everything you've overcome up to this present moment. I fixed you for what's going to happen after this. You were in the mind of God long before you were ever born.
You are not alone in your battle. God has your back because worship is warfare. Put these 4 messages in your arsenal today on CD or DVD. Equip yourself by visiting our website or by calling 1-800-591-8480. It's the catalyst for change you've been waiting on. New Mind, New Me, from Bishop David G. Evans.
I want to be loved. Why do I take the person that loves me and kick them to the curb? I want to be wealthy, but I spend all my money. You were created and given a slave, a doulos, a servant called your mind. Your mind is out of order when it questions your commands.
If you are ready for true transformation, Bishop David G. Evans would like to bless you with the New Mind, New Me 4-message DVD set. Order today, and you will also receive Bishop Evans' national best-selling book, Healed Without Scars, as well as the Healed Without Scars music CD.
My mind's going where I tell it to go. It'll never go back. It's my mind. It's going to do what I say.
All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today. Be prepared to watch a new you emerge.
It's now easier than ever to stay connected with David G. Evans and the Bethany Baptist Church family. Follow the ministry and rejoice in all that God is doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Facebook, you'll be up to date on the latest happenings. You can watch our Sunday services on Facebook Live, 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Here comes the power. Hallelujah.
Words of wisdom and encouragement can be found on Twitter, and you'll get up to the minute sermon points as they happen in our weekly worship services. Follow us on Instagram and be blessed by the inspirational and special moments that are highlighted each week, and meet the people who are the heart of our ministry. And if it's video you want, subscribe to the Bethany Baptist Church channel on YouTube. See the celebrations, the special events, and the many, many people who are helping to transform lives one at a time. Stay connected with David G. Evans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and become a member of our broadcast family today.
What if you could make one decision to unleash everything great in your life? Would you do it? Would you say yes? Aren't you tired of your relationships, your health, and so much more suffering because you lack the truth you need to change? The life you desire is within your reach. You can achieve all the success, happiness, and prosperity you deserve by simply learning the secrets that lead to real personal transformation. Change is hard, but not impossible. You just have to make one radical decision to get real. And there's no better authority on the real steps to change than David G. Evans.
Some men trust in chariots, Some men trust in horses, but we will trust in the Lord.
David G. Evans is leading the charge to bring you the power to change your life. He is committed to the mission of helping you transform and become a person of power, and it starts with his all-new system to change your situation. At the centerpiece of this life-altering collection is David Evans' groundbreaking training course. From ridiculous to radical to real, this means war. In this series, you will discover the steps to change. This series includes 2 powerful messages, each on winning the battle in your mind and cultivating a language of faith. That's 4 messages, 4 power-filled hours of material. If you want a better marriage, this series has the answers. If you want to achieve financial independence God's way, the secrets in this series will empower you to make it happen. If you want a life of power, anointing, and influence, this series will show you how to get it, and there's more. You're looking for serious, immediate results. So Bishop Evans will also include one of his best-selling messages called Weapon of Warfare. This classic teaching will build you up to start fighting in the spirit for what you deserve. This powerhouse collection, from ridiculous to radical to real, and Weapon of Warfare, will give you all the biblical strategies you need to change anything in your life. This collection will ship to you immediately with your gift today to David G. Evans Ministries. This ministry is revolutionizing the kingdom.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on any smart device at David G. Evans, the #1, at David G. Evans 1. It's a wonderful thing to know that you have joined us today. I would like you to like and subscribe and share this particular hour of conversation, information, always from a kingdom point of view, debate, talking about those things that are consequential in your life. We'd like you to join us. You can call us toll free from anywhere in the world, 866-743-8267. That's 866-743-8267. That's 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. We'd love to have this conversation with you to do as we talk about the things, of course, of faith, political events, sporting events, major events that impact your life, but always discussed from a kingdom point of view with kingdom perspective and biblical wisdom applied to whatever we are going through, whatever we are witnessing, whatever we are experiencing around us in our everyday life. And you are impacted by global events. You are impacted by national events. You're impacted by regional and local events. So it is important that you have an Issacharian type of understanding the times and knowing exactly what you're supposed to do. And that wisdom for these times and these events is found in the Word of God. It's there. The wisdom that you need is there to navigate the times that you presently live in. So we're going to have a conversation with you today about a variety of subjects. We hope you will join us. Once again, like us and subscribe to us. And I need you to share, inviting all your followers and friends on whatever platform you're watching us on today, so they can get involved in this conversation and be blessed by the same dialogue and influence and impartation and all those other words that are beneficial to you, that build your life, build your knowledge, build your understanding. The Bible says, in all you're getting, get understanding. That wisdom is the principal thing. Knowledge that works well in your life is the principal thing. Joining us once again is our world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas A. Smith. Hey, man.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good. Okay.
We are in another day. We got a great day happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
14 people are being ordained here in the sanctuary. We're looking forward to this class, especially these 2 classes, actually, because their graduation was delayed by the COVID outbreak, and we now feel like we can bring everybody together and have the kind of fellowship and with a reasonable amount of safety. We're looking forward to it once again. I am. Tina Turner passed away.
Yes.
So it was Jim Brown. It was Harry Belafonte one week, Jim Brown this week, Tina Turner this week. Anybody else that we missed?
Well, I know a very prominent Protestant pastor named Tim Keller. He passed away from cancer last week.
Did he?
Very well known
Okay.
in that arena.
Okay.
Been dealing with it for a while.
Wow.
But yeah, it's
my favorite Tina Turner song is Nutbush City
Nutbush,
Limits.
yeah, everybody. That's what everybody's.
That spot. It's been my favorite for years. Every time it comes on the radio, I'm like, yeah, here it comes.
I actually like her rock stuff a little more.
Well, I mean, I like her rock stuff,
Yeah.
but my absolute favorite is that Nutbush, man.
Yeah.
I think because it talks about the city that she's from,
Yeah.
the anime Bullock, environment, and she describes it, and I think the song is written well. The rhythm is effective. It's just it's a me. I'm looking at it as how it's constructed.
Right.
Well constructed, well written, and she was in fine voice and just it just pops, man.
Yeah. And for somebody to be able to succeed in different genres, that's a rarity among music. To be able to switch and probably have more fame on one side. Well,
she did.
It's more of an open
She did.
group. Yeah, more diverse group in that side. And me being a child of the 80s,
Yeah.
that was when she was in her rock phase. So I heard more
That's
of her
when she
rock stuff more
reemerged.
than-
That's when she reemerged.
I heard her rock stuff before I heard the
Yeah.
R&B stuff.
And the other thing I like about Nutbush is that it bridges both genres for her, because it's got that hard rock driving thing going on, but it's got those lyrics that come from her history. I think that I saw an interview with her, and she said the reason she switched to rock is because she got depressed every time she listened to R&B.
Yeah.
She said, so I moved over to rock, and some people thought it was going to be the death of her, but it actually was the thing she needed to do because she had the voice for it.
She had, and that was her style. That's her, and you find your lane, and that was her thing.
But the industry told her, you're making a mistake.
Yeah.
And then she went worldwide, like, boom.
Yeah, because she has that.
And she had that stage performance.
Yeah.
And then if you watch her act, how she put it together, it was not typical for an African American woman at the time. But also, if you look at her background singers, were always women of color. But her dancers were usually Caucasian women.
Yeah.
So she was bridging the gap on both sides.
And again, some people will try that, they will bomb because it's not their thing. But for her, she's always looked like she had that side of her.
Well,
that fit more in this zone.
I don't even know, and this is just me thinking how I think. I'm not sure she didn't fit where she was. I think she saw the change in times, saw the spot, saw there was no African American woman in that spot, thought she had the voice, the ideas and all that. She stepped into it like she had been doing it forever.
Because her story, she wanted to do some more rock stuff, but Ike wouldn't.
Well, Ike didn't want to do
He
anything.
didn't want to do nothing. He wanted to.
Because it would have given her too much attention.
Yeah.
And then she had the stage energy that, for a rock performer, that's normally not what the lead singer does. So she's got all this motion going on, all this energy, and and then she was dressing a little different than everybody was, although she did not throw away her sequins.
No.
She didn't throw them away.
She's still a sister at the
Yeah,
it ain't gonna change.
In that part, she brought that with her, but she just changed the whole dynamic, man. It was amazing to me.
Yeah. And to have a career resurgence later on in her life.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
That's when they said it was a gamble and said she was making a mistake. She just needed to get another band and do what she had been doing.
Yeah.
She said, no, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that.
And she was smart enough to keep her name.
Mm-hmm.
You can have all the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
As long as I keep my name, my image, she's fine.
Yeah.
And
Anime Bullock.
right on up.
From Nutbush, Tennessee. What a name.
I know.
Amazing.
Who would have known? I mean, I ain't trying to, say anything down on Nutbush, Tennessee, but most of us would have never heard of Nutbush, Tennessee without the song.
Look.
I'm not trying to, go against the town, but it's just.
I was listening to the song I thought she made up the town.
Yeah.
You know, just we'll be honest about it. I thought she made the town up, man. And when she said at the end of the song, Tennessee, I'm like, yo. And that's where she was from.
Yeah. And I will say, I think once, money's always been infused in music. So it's not, I'm not going to say that.
Oh, yeah.
But I think once the late 90s, 2000s kicked in, you started seeing music that only lasts for a short cycle in time.
Yep.
And you listen to the music now, you wonder you're going to listen to this 30 years from now compared to...
It's not memorable.
You know, from the 60s, 70s, 80s, early 90s or stuff you would still listen to.
People wonder why folks still listen to Fleetwood Mac, Grateful Dead, because even though they were rock bands, Virgin, all those, they were rock bands, they had the longevity and the sound, and the songs was Beatles, the sound was so profound that people that hear those songs can still sing them, just like Motown, you know, those R&B songs that 50, 60 years old, all you gotta do is hear the melody and all the lyrics come right back to you. Why? Because they told stories.
Yes. And now it's like, let's see how much money I can make right now. So we make a song that's gonna hit quick, next hit, and then the person's done after what, 3-4 years, if they're lucky.
If they're not one-hit wonders.
Yeah. But again, it's all about.
But then that music industry, you know, there are decision makers in that industry that if you don't have one of them or two of them decide, yes, you're going to be a star, you won't become one.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Yes, and I mean, it's in any kind of the star shelf in any vocation only has a few slots on it, which is why it's almost a blood sport to stay on top.
True. I was watching. I'll get your thoughts on this. I was watching the movie on Whitney Houston that came out last year.
Okay.
And the more you learn about her life coming up, I felt so much pity for her, and I wonder if the presentation of her, if they let her come out from the start as herself.
Okay. What was herself?
She was from East Orange, New Jersey.
Exactly.
Instead of presenting her as this all-around American girl, but said, look, let's keep you as you are, tweak it a little bit to be a little more palatable for. I think she broke under the pressure of trying to be somebody that they wanted her to be, rather than who she was.
I agree with you. I think also that she comes from a musical family. A lot of musical pressure. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that her voice is a combination of her mother's and some other, because her mother was a phenomenal singer. Did a lot of background for Aretha Franklin. The Ain't No Way song, that's Cissy Houston in the background, you know, going up to where you lose oxygen. So she had to live up, but I'm not sure. One of the things that happens that parents have talented children, one of the mistakes they make is not intentionally balancing the goal with a quote-unquote normal life. If you've got an unusual gift, you're not going to have a quote-unquote normal life. But you have to have the wisdom to manage the gift or the talent, like football players and basketball players. Manage it so they turn out in ways that are more mature than if. Teach them the stewardship of what they have, not that that's all that you are.
Yeah, because she was a lot more hood than people knew she was.
Oh yeah, she was hood.
So when it came out, everybody's like, "This ain't Whitney Houston." No, she was like that the whole time.
Yeah. They hooked up, and it just was a bad. Yeah. He was in trouble. She was in trouble. She'd been in trouble. Yeah. I think she made a couple of relational decisions along the way that made her worse. Yeah. I saw a significant change in her life. I can't think of the young woman's name, but her musician for a long time was this young white woman with these braids. And most people don't talk about her. Girl was a phenomenal musician. She played for her in just about all of her live performances around the world. And I think they were close. Now, whatever that means, I don't know. But when that broke up because of the controversy that it would start, it seemed like that's when she started to really kind of trip. And then the other young lady that they talk about,
Robin Crawford.
You know, there just was she had a phenomenal gift and struggled with, I think, you know, it's just like with Ja Morant. Ja is not a hoodlum.
Yeah.
He's pretending to be one. He's trying to impress people that don't really like him. Because if I'm your friend and I see you really breaking through and I see you attempting to do something that's going to hinder you, I'm not going to let you do it.
Yeah.
So that tells me there's a twisted love-hate kind of thing. Now, I'm not even sure love.
Yeah.
Because only envy will allow you to call yourself a friend and watch somebody self-destruct, and you don't grab them by the collar and say, hold up, man, you can really mess up.
Yep. That's true.
And I think it looks like to me like his dad was so interested in getting back in the limelight that he didn't stop him.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Ja's been, I watched him in college before he, you know, went with the dreads and trying to look like Rasta and, you know, all this other stuff that he's doing, trying to perpetuate this gangster facade.
Yeah.
That you can look at him, you can look at him talk, you can hear him talk. He's clearly not a gangster.
Yeah, he's not. He's not.
But he's pretending to be one.
Yeah.
And now he's pretended his way. You know, he's gonna mess up almost $1 billion by the time it gets done.
Yeah. And I mean, he's young enough to, if he gets himself together, to get him. He's 23, right? 23, 24.
Yeah, that excuse about.
No, I'm talking about he has enough sense to turn his life around. Like,
I'm not sure he does.
if he has enough sense, I'm saying he has the time to.
Okay.
To say, you know what, I messed up, and can be productive.
How many times
forward.
can you say that?
No, I'm saying he has a chance to. I'm not saying he's going to. He has a chance to.
No, I'm just saying how many times can you say that? Because he said it once. You know, and then what happens? He's kicking in people's doors. He's doing everything he can to impress people that don't care about it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't speak for him. I'm talking about for me. Like, he's 23.
You should be enough time to
get
turn
your
around.
life together.
Should be
now,
enough time.
You have. It's not like you're at the end of your career. I'm trying, like, where you're going. You still
Yeah.
have the skill. You're 23. Come on.
I wonder if we're asking him to exhibit something he has not developed as a young man. Because the possibilities that he has and the way he's behaving, I don't think he understands they're in the same cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's the other thing. When you're an athlete at the level that he's been since high school, probably junior high, people spend a lot of time covering up for you, making excuses for you, until you get, it's like when I think one of the greatest basketball players that I've ever seen is Allen Iverson. And I thought the trouble that he got in, that he got out of, would have been enough for him to kind of straighten up. But he got up here, and I have to suspect that if he could do it all over again, that he probably would do it differently.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that pride will let an individual that's doing that say anything but, I do it all over the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. And it took him at this point in his life. Like, you're older now, he's not gonna come back and play.
No.
It's too late for him.
He doesn't look well to me.
Nah. But they did do the smart thing. I think Reebok or somebody.
They put money away
for him. You're not going to touch this until a certain, which tells me they
means,
knew.
Yes, sir.
They knew.
Yeah, they knew. Mm-hmm.
But again, you're right.
As soon as I heard that, why would a corporation put money away for an individual unless they knew from their observation and interaction that this individual was going to mess up what he was going to do? If it hadn't been for Reebok looking out for him, because it wasn't his guys.
Yeah.
I was in Boyd's one day when his crew came in without him.
Yeah. I'm sure they were spending his money.
They spent, I'll say conservatively, 50, 60 grand of his money in a matter of minutes. This, give me this, give me this, give me this. Called him on the phone. The guy that usually handles his business called him on the phone. You got this group down here, da-da-da, who is it, so-and-so, go ahead. Yeah. And this is the habit they were doing.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm your boy, I'm not trying to burn through all your money.
Take advantage of that, yeah. Yep. The Applebee's, he used to go to Applebee's or somewhere after games and stuff. But I think what Reebok did is smart for most of these kids. You're taking, I remember one of the athletes was talking about this.
Okay.
You take a child from poverty.
Yep.
He's 21 years old. Give him $10 million. What do you think?
He gonna spend. He gonna do the video thing. He gonna live a video life.
Well, yeah. You spend that first couple of years. Like one guy, he had I think like a $30,000-$40,000 signing bonus. He went to a check cashing place because he didn't know how to open a bank account. And he was explaining like nobody taught us. This is what you need to do. Now the NBA and NFL have that now, but this was before.
Yeah.
But what does that say about the adults in this person's life? They say, you know what, you're gonna make this money. Let's talk to somebody, whatever.
If you're not, as the adult, wondering immediately how much you're gonna get
from it, that's true.
Go cash the check, break me off a piece.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, versus I saw something on this whole Air Jordan thing. They say his mother was tenacious. She didn't play. No, we're going to do this right. You're not going to take advantage of my son.
Yep.
You know, this is how we're going to do this.
Yep. His parents held him down. And, you know, for LeBron's sake, even the same thing. I mean, he's going to be a billionaire sometime soon.
Oh, yeah.
He's, you know.
I'm glad you brought him up. I was disappointed at the way he walked off the court after they got beat. I think he might have interacted with one other player before he hit the tunnel. Is anybody talking about that?
Very few. It's a bunch of excuses.
There's no excuse for that.
I know.
If you're gonna be the GOAT and call yourself the GOAT, you're either the GOAT when you win or you're the GOAT when you lose. But you gotta know how to be gracious.
According to LeBron,
and they got their head handed to them.
Yeah. According to LeBron James' logic, when he loses, it's everybody else's fault. When the team wins, it's all his. He gets all the credit for it.
Well, that's not so true. I don't believe that.
I know. No, they actually say, well, he didn't have enough help, but when they win, he did it all himself. It makes no sense.
He's the superstar.
Yeah.
And Charles Barkley said, and I agree with this, if you're the guy, no matter what the situation is, you get blamed for the victory.
Yeah.
You get credit for the victory. You get blamed for the defeat. And I just think that Denver was too much for him.
Yeah. And that Joker boy, he was hitting shots.
Doc, I don't care what they say about him. They can call him all the names they want. They can't stop him.
Yeah. He looks so slow.
He is slow.
He's just.
But they said the same thing about Bird.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah. You
know, Joker can get a little higher off the ground, and you can get a quarter under the Joker. You can only get a dime under Bird. But the reality is, they couldn't stop him. I'm watching the games like, they can't stop this boy. Anthony Davis looked like a child in a sandstorm a couple times, man. He looked like a baby trying to get out the bassinet. It was like. And then one time he just looked at him and shook his head.
Yeah, I saw that. He couldn't do nothing with him.
It was incredible. 866-743-8267. 866-743-8267. We got Scott from Vineland, New Jersey. We got Danny from Florida, Lauderhill, Florida. You can give us a call, have this conversation with us. I'm not sure whether we're finished with our sports segment or not yet, but we're going to go to Scott. Hey, Scott, how you doing?
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Bishop Evans, Preston, how you guys doing today?
Doing good, man. Thanks for calling us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for taking my call. Be a little different for talk a little sports. I love 76ers. Guys are laughing already. Besides being a hot mess, it just what would you guys do with James Harden? It seems like they can't find another point guard.
I don't think Harden. I think there are some point guards who can better serve the team. For instance, I don't know how my point guard doesn't get the ball in the MVP's hands in the last 10, 12 minutes of a critical game. I don't know how that happens. And this is now I'm a fan of basketball. I'm not an aficionado. You and Pastor Nick is a sports guy. You're a sports guy. I need to know something. If my shots are not falling from outside, what mechanism has to go off in my head to say drive to the basket? If I can't hit it from 30 feet and they're not dropping, and you spend a whole half proving that they're not dropping, and then why, if I got the MVP, why is he taking shots from the three-point line? When he feels like it, they can't stop him around the basket. Right. Now, am I missing something?
No. This is what I don't really watch basketball as much because I hate basketball. I won't say I hate it. I don't like it. All the three-point shots. Nope. Everybody's trying to be Steph Curry. Nobody's driving the basket. It's
a 7-footer doesn't need to shoot 20 of those a game.
Yeah. No,
go down in the box.
That's why we have guards.
Yeah, I'm like watching them. Okay, your shots are not falling from outside. This is I played a little basketball. I'm not. That's not my proficient sport. I'm a track guy, soccer, all that stuff. You know, so. But common sense. If I'm shooting for the first 15 minutes and they're not falling, go to the hoop and draw the foul.
Yep.
Hit a layup.
Logical thing.
It's logic.
Or take the 15-footer.
Yeah.
Because 2 is better than 0.
Right. They don't.
Man,
the game is
you're making some sense over there, Bishop. Literally, why can't they figure it out?
And then you got a coach, and I knew what's his name was getting fired.
Oh, Doc,
Yeah, I knew Doc was getting fired. You got a coach that can't make that adjustment. Yo, they're not falling, guys. You got to drive to the basket. You got to come on in, take the 15, 20-footers. The threes aren't dropping. Let's score 2. Instead of going for 10 minutes, scoring nothing.
Well, his track record speaks for itself. Again, we go back to when he was bragging about the 2008 Doc. That was how many years ago?
Yeah.
I said it again, all 3 of us could have coached that team. And then presently, a couple years ago, is with the Clippers. He blew a 3-game-to-1 lead. He had all-stars on that team. So, I hope he gets the job somewhere else, but definitely not here.
Let me throw something out to you guys.
All I have, fellas.
Let me throw something out. Let me throw something out to you, Pastor Nate. Is it possible that Rivers' coaching style has not continued to mature?
He's still riding off his old.
He's going the way. He's still doing it the way he's always done it.
Yeah.
And the game clearly has changed. But is it possible that he has not developed along with the game?
Yes.
Because when I'm watching him lately, he cannot come from behind very well. And he doesn't adjust. He reminds me of Andy Reid in Philadelphia.
Yeah. When he gets that clustered look. I'm going to keep trying. Even though it's not working, we're going to keep banging our heads against this door. Yeah. And to me, you coach the team. The team doesn't coach you.
Well, in this, it almost seems like some of the guys are afraid to coach.
Yeah.
Now, the young guy, Boston, you tell them guys off in a minute.
Yeah. That's why they're making a little comeback. I don't know if they're going to win the series, but.
Supposed to, I don't know whether he gets in these guys' faces or not. But if you're going to coach the team, but then management has to tell, has LeBron been coaching LA?
From some of the clips you see him telling the coach certain things, it seems like he has a lot of juice over how things go.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
And I think Unibrow is a very talented ball player. But they just got beat by a better team.
They did.
Shot their eyes out.
Yeah.
Defense like nobody's business. They were blocking LA shots like they were kindergartners.
Yeah. They are the better team.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, for me, James Harden.
Yeah.
If I'm paying you close to $50 million, I need you to be able to beat James Harden in critical games.
Yeah.
But he always seems to fold.
I don't. I know a lot of people in Philly.
Yeah.
And they say he spends a lot of social time.
Yes, out.
Yes.
He's known for his certain place he likes to go.
Yeah, social time. He spends a lot of social time. Yeah. And it's not a gym.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Danny, how you doing this morning?
Good morning, Bishop. Good morning, Pastor Nick staff. How y'all doing?
Welcome, man. Welcome.
Everything's going good?
Man, I'm watching your state. NAACP gives a travel advisory the African American people in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
The guy just legislated, signed into law a bunch of bills that takes, I'm going to say it like this, takes books about black people out of the circulation for the kids. I mean, just one thing after another, and they're talking about a Florida model, and I'm still wondering, the black folk that are supporters of him, what are they saying about this direct attack on that cultural part of Florida's life? What are they saying about it?
There's a lot that's being said, but what happens is that they're being cut off before they even get started, and no one is behind them, whatever they're challenging. And nobody is fact-checking the things that's going on. By that, what I mean is I was so embarrassed this past week when they, I don't know if you all heard about it up north, is that the young lady that presented that poem at the inauguration,
yeah, I saw it.
Gordon.
Yeah.
Gordon, excuse me, Amanda Gordon. She did that poem. Do you know that she had a book that was written? They moved it out of the library.
Yeah, he's taking it out, man. He banned it.
Mm-hmm. They taken it out, but then what they did, they changed up, and they said, well, we won't make it available to elementary school. We'll take it and put it in the junior high section.
They also signed into law, understand, Florida universities, that any chance for equality, any chance for balance, cultural balance in admissions and all, he abolished all of that this week.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who obviously has some presidential aspirations, and he feels a sense of he's justified in doing this, and I think he feels justified because of who he has around him. But from outside, Danny, it looks like the state is either affirming what he does or they're silent, and neither one of those works.
Well, what he does, he sends other people to do his work for him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They will go ahead and they will present a bill, and he will sign it.
But you all know it's coming from him.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it doesn't, if the bill has to be signed by him to be passed or become law, then it doesn't matter how many acolytes present the bill. Ultimately, it's his responsibility to say, okay, this is law or this is not law. So they can do all that smoke and mirrors that they want to do.
Mm-hmm. I agree totally with you. Just like when they pull that book off the shelf. You know why they pull it off of the shelf?
Why?
One parent.
Mm-hmm. Just one.
Large complaint. One parent. One parent.
Mm-hmm. Which means to me, they were looking for a reason to do it.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, here's how it works. Okay, the bills that they're signing, nobody fact checks the bill as to what the bill is saying and how it works. He presented in the to those that have the powers what they call a parent's bill of rights.
Mm-hmm.
The parents have a right to go ahead and do whatever they want to do and say whatever they want to say, and they put it under certain headings, like the woke group, or they are saying that it's discrimination and what have you. Now, the question was asked to the parent that presented the objection to it, is that, what is it that you object to? What is it about it? Oh, I didn't read it. But if you didn't read the poem, how do you have an objection for it? You're saying that it's racist. You're saying that it's divisive.
Yeah, but they never read it.
They never read it.
And I thought her inaugural presentation, I didn't see anything divisive about her inaugural presentation at all.
If anything, it was inspiring for the younger people to see a young person doing well and going before the nation and presenting something, doing something on her own, you know, without going ahead. The thing is down here. I want to get on TV. How do you get on TV? You shoot somebody.
I think one of the, and this may be a little controversial, when I look at Herschel Walker, Tim Scott. Herschel is not necessarily considered an articulate man. Tim Scott, however, sounds like he can, dot an I and cross a T, as they used to say back in the old days. The only appropriate articulate black person is one that can be controlled to support a narrative that is absolutely against our best interests. Yep. But we've got people who, I don't like to call them sellouts. Back in the day, we used to call them Toms. But the reality is, we've got people that in Florida who, and Tom's coming up soon, so we'll get another perspective on this also. I'm wondering if the black folk are 13%, the other thing that's happening. So Florida reports, according to the governor, that their crime rate went down. They pulled the same thing with COVID that they pulled with crime. They stopped reporting the crimes.
Yeah.
So if you want, it's, and people are like, crime went down the state. If 4 people get shot on your block, crime has not gone down in the state.
Right.
Now the other thing that I wanted to talk about, the same person that lodged the complaint, who does she hang out with? Who is she photographed with?
Who?
Check her background. The Proud Boys.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. Nobody back. But then you have the governor who's campaigning. He gets up and he talks about this. They moved this in Dade County. I didn't have nothing to do with that. Okay. Yes, you did. You up there. You up there giving a speech talking about them. And who was he talking to? A homeschool convention. Homeschool convention.
Wow.
What about your regular schools?
Unbelievable.
So you see where this is going to.
Yeah. And this guy wants to be president.
Not only that, Bishop, he presents a bill, or he had his do boys to do his bidding. They presented a bill wherein he can run for president and do not have to resign his post.
Because he doesn't think he's going to win. So he wants to have a job when he fails. That's pretty simple.
How can you campaign and run the state at the same time? Classic example. We had a flood in Fort Lauderdale. Where was our governor?
He was somewhere else, wasn't
He hasn't been here yet.
Wasn't he in Philly when that happened?
He was up north. That's correct. That was correct.
Wow.
And what I'm thinking right now is hurricane season.
I still ask the question, I'm being redundant, Danny. Why is your state so silent, appear to be so silent with this man doing what he's doing? Where's the 13% of the population being people of color? Where are those voices? And if they're not loud and they don't see the danger, what have they been promised, or what do they hope they're going to get to really just sell out themselves? How do you get upset with somebody teaching race, and then you go outside, and in Florida, you see a multi-ethnic community? How do you get mad about teaching about the different people that make up the races that compose your state? What is that?
And no one fact checks what's going on.
Well, because they depend upon that.
Right. Last week, here's an interesting subject. Something that happened. They talk about people crashing the border and what have you. We had a boatload of people that came through, and usually when someone comes through by the boatload, they process them differently. Okay, like if you're from Haiti, they would show them being arrested. They would show them being put on a bus or something like that. Now, this group that came over last week, who were they? Did you hear anything about that?
Nope.
It was a boatload of Chinese.
Did they allow them to enter?
I can't tell you anything because nobody knows beyond that point.
Wow. Well, so if they didn't, it would be news.
But
if they did, they'd hide it.
here's the thing. I'm sending 100 troops to Texas to help on that border. But I can't send anybody to the port of Miami, to the port of Fort Lauderdale.
Wow.
Stop the drugs from coming in.
You guys are sending 100 troops from Florida over to Texas?
To Texas. Yes, sir.
Oh, my. Danny, we got to go, man.
Okay.
Tell my sister I said hello.
All right, Bishop.
Bye-bye.
Be blessed now. All right.
866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. Let's go to Tom from Florida. How you doing, Tom?
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing, Pastor Nick?
Hey, Tom.
What's going on today, man? Yeah.
Nothing much, but Bishop, I had a problem with something you said earlier.
Okay.
You said that, I used to call them Toms.
We did used to call them Toms.
Bishop, I tell you this real quick. One time, I came into church, and one of the Kingdom Guards said, "Hey, what do your nephews call you?"
Yeah, it's hilarious. That's funny.
Oh, these guys. Nobody's safe here, Tom. Nobody's safe.
Bishop, we're talking about Morant, Kai Alvin Memphis. Just real quick issue on that. I was looking at Stephen A. last night.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephen A. said he got a phone call because he's still in contact with this person named Allen Iverson.
Okay.
He said, Iverson said, we got to get with you. And he said, why me? He goes, you do it, Allen. You the man. He said, because I think he needs both of us.
Okay.
Iverson is not the same guy he used to be. Listening to Stephen A.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
I think the point was just to get some senior advice from some people that this guy may have looked up to.
I'm not sure Allen is from a generation that he would respect.
Yeah, it depends on if John Morant's open to.
Yeah, I think he would be more open to LeBron talking to him, or maybe Curry talking to him, than he would Allen from the past, because there's a discount. A lot of present people discount the old NBA
if they have no respect for him. Yeah.
Right.
I know when Jamie Foxx was when he did Ray, he was on the Oscar tour. You know, they got to do all that stuff.
Right.
And he was cutting the fool, and he admitted to it. He was acting up, and people were calling him like, "Yo, you need to calm down because you're about to mess up your opportunity."
Yeah.
So he wasn't listening to his publicist. So Oprah called him.
Yep.
If you all don't know the story, Oprah calls him, invites him out to Quincy Jones' house, all lined up, all these famous black actors from the past.
In the house?
In the house. She brought all them in and was talking to him like, here's the significance of this moment if you mess this up. And then Sidney Poitier, she saved Poitier for last.
Yeah.
He said when Poitier came out to talk to him, he broke down crying. It took all those people to get Jamie Foxx to realize,
wow,
you're at a different status now. Stop acting like,
trying to be something you're not anymore, Doc.
This is not who you are anymore.
You're in another neighborhood.
And like, if you mess this up, you're messing up all of our legacy, all the stuff we built for you. But Jamie was open to
he probably was overwhelmed. But Oprah pulled a shot on him. She,
Bishop, I saw something Pastor Nick's talking about. She's snooky.
He didn't know.
He didn't know what was happening. He didn't know what was coming.
He didn't know Sidney was there. He showed up to see Oprah.
Yep.
And she broke him out one at a time on him.
Yeah. Like, bruh, you know how many black actors win an Oscar? Like, what is wrong with you? But he's having fun. But again, Jamie was open to the correction.
Yeah.
Ja doesn't look like he's
right now. I'm not sure. You know what? He reminds me right now of those old captains that rather than abandon ship, they tie themselves to the wheel.
Yeah.
I just.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what he's thinking.
Yeah, I'm sorry about it. I don't think Pastor Nick saw this. But the reason Stephen A. was talking about him, he wrote on a card, bye. He had police go to his home.
Oh, yeah.
For a suicidal check, basically.
That boy ain't gonna kill himself.
He posted some stuff online saying, "I love my dad, I love
That
you."
boy
so,
ain't
so,
gonna
so.
kill himself.
I was like, he's not.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Because he posted some stuff. I love you, Mom. I love this, and kind of, all right, bye.
Now you're gonna do the guilt sympathy trip that you done messed up real big time.
Yeah.
Stop hanging around with them knuckleheads.
Yeah. Yep.
Your friend took a picture of you holding a gun, and your friend knows you're in trouble already.
Yep. Yeah, and some of the strip clubs he went to, some of the girls were saying they don't want him to come back to the clubs because of stuff he was doing there.
He doesn't know how to behave.
Yeah.
He thinks that this and I'm telling you again, when a kid is talented, especially when he's gifted, they start making excuses for his behavior back in elementary school.
Yep. Get away with everything.
Somebody taking your test for you, somebody doing your homework for you, and you get the sense that no matter what happens, they're going to bail me out. We see it all the time in the NFL.
Yep. Yep.
Guys get in trouble. You think, okay, he learned. Goes to another team, does the same thing all over again.
Yep. Until that moment where what do they say? The problems you bring doesn't equal your talent. Mm-hmm. And then once your problems are greater than your talent,
when they can't use you anymore, it's over.
You're out.
And then you end up destitute, most of them broke, and no way to recover.
Yep. Look, we know. I ain't gonna say the person's name. Somebody who great in basketball, went to the league, flopped, but barely could read, barely could write,
absolutely,
and then now is kind of back in a situation that's not conducive to the goals that everybody had for said individual. But again, you keep getting let go, and excuses.
You got to learn at some point. I have relatives, courageously talented, gifted, all those superlatives, no discipline, and now living a life that's the total opposite of what their potential could have been.
Yep.
I mean, total opposite. I mean, cannot watch a major professional sporting event. I've got relatives where they couldn't say, I could do that.
Yep.
I was able to do that. I had the talent for that. And they're selling shoes somewhere. Not saying anything down about selling shoes, but multi-million dollars versus just trying to make it.
Yep, that's true. And somebody brought some up in the comments, and I'll throw this out here, and I think this is true. A lot of this new age senior citizens are too busy trying to be young, trying to get their thing back, rather than being parents, grandparents, and
that thing you can't get it back.
I know.
You can't get it back. I know. You have to accept the fact that there's appropriate behavior. There's nothing more inauthentic than someone 50, 60, 70 years old trying to behave or compete with 30 and 40 years old. There's nothing more unauthentic than that. Yet people do this and are trying to keep up when there's a space in life carved out for people that are mature and know how to behave.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. How we grew up, church mothers, older saints be there. That environment. You don't see that environment with this newer 40, 50, 60.
Because you got too many old folk trying to look young. They buying more hair. They getting implants everywhere. The guys are getting plastic surgery. I mean, it's just.
I know. It's
the fact.
No, but the bottom line is when they get home, you're still 60. You're still 55.
Yeah. Your body gonna tell you how old you are.
I mean, come on.
I know.
Bishop, you were asking earlier about our crazy governor, and I keep trying to think about myself when you say, what do people see in this guy? And I recently purposely listened to his speeches, and his speeches really sound different than what's going on. And if you listen to his buzzwords or his hidden words, the woke, and he always avoids the stuff that he's doing when he's doing his speech. And you made a comment earlier about how diverse this state is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say we're probably going to be one of the most diverse states in the country, and nobody seems to be in an uproar. And
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like this guy has come into your house with a weapon and is taking your stuff, and you're like, there's no reaction at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's one or two mayors down here really going at him, but other than that, I think some people are afraid. And I don't know how this guy weaponizes stuff, but he gets people out of office. Like I said, the sheriff down here, who was a Democratic sheriff, elected, he got the guy thrown out of office on some technicality and put his own guy in. And I still don't know how he legally got away with that.
Well, he probably didn't, and the only place he could get away with it is in your state. You know, it's I think it's tragic that he is telling America Florida is the model.
Yep.
He's warning everybody, this is the way I'm going to govern. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, and something else that happened too recently. When the census came up and they redistricted, he ended up winning the supermajority in the state house, which gives him the rings to do what he wants.
Well, let me ask you a question, then I gotta let you go. The Department of Justice is supposed to be the sheriff for the entire nation. Is that right?
Yep.
Why is the Department of Justice allowing DeSantis to do the things that he does?
Bishop, I wish I could answer that.
Okay, I just wanted to know. Tom, we gotta let you go, man.
Hey, take care.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, we've got 4 minutes. 3 minutes. Where now I've got friends that live in Florida, all ethnicities. I don't hear any of them saying anything.
Yeah. Some I've heard that I know have said something, but the rest I don't know if they just
They're largely silent.
Anything at all. Yeah.
They're largely silent. I don't, but I guess, we're living outside of that place, but I guess if you can reach into a school board and change that, I guess people are afraid of their job security and all with this guy.
Yeah. But the parents, the people, the
parents, they don't have a job to take.
Yeah, it's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, the parents got to be the ones to really.
Well, let's get some of these announcements out of the way. We got 2 minutes. We want you to join us tomorrow, of course. We have our 8 a.m. virtual service, which you can watch us online at any of our platforms, David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ on YouTube. But our 11 o'clock is live. We're in a tremendous series called Momentum. It is centered around the Holy Spirit, and we are, the platform for that discussion is 1 John, 2 John, and 3 John. We're in 1 John right now. We're in the core of teaching about the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, and what that means, and you really need to be a part of that service. We're having tremendous worship. We want to invite all of you to join us tomorrow at 6 o'clock as 14 people will be ordained as reverends here live in this room. We no longer require vaccination to attend service, so we just have to have a mask. We'll take your temperature, and I'm telling you right now, you can come, gotta wear your mask. We're going to take your temperature. If you got 105-degree fever, I don't want to hear about your faith. Go back to your car and go back home. Don't come foolishly to church. But we're looking for everybody to come out tomorrow at 11. We're looking for great support as pastors and family and churches and all come from all over the region to watch their loved ones become ordained. It's going to be a great time. We want to invite you out Wednesday night, 7 o'clock for our midweek service, 12 o'clock Wednesday for our noonday Bible study. If you're interested in getting Bethany updates, either news or inspirational, for news, you text BBC News to 28950. That's news, BBC News to 28950. And if you want devotional messages, text BBC Elevate to 28950. We love to pray with you. So send your prayer requests to social@gotobethany.com. That's social@gotobethany.com. We'd love to agree with you in prayer. And once again, subscribe to David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ on YouTube. And also subscribe to our DJams and our On Point podcast platforms. As always, for Pastor Nicholas Smith, thank you for joining us for the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show of America. This is On Point. So glad you joined us. Remember, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you, and we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you next week.